If you still haven't watched this new rom-com, what are you even doing? On one side, we've got our girl who just naturally looks like a total handsome prince. On the other, the cool school bully who keeps treating our prince like his personal princess. Tension, confusion, and way too much chemistry for their own good. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe to the channel. So let's get started. So we have Takiguchi Yoi, a totally normal high school girl, except people constantly mistake her for a boy. Girls are literally falling for her left and right. If she wasn't wearing a skirt, nobody would even guess she's a girl. On a regular school morning, a girl straight up confesses to her. Poor Yoi has no idea how to handle this, so she just stays quiet and walks away. Awkward. When she gets to her locker, she finds, as usual, snacks and little gifts from her admirers. Her friends Nobata and Kotobuki tease her about it. Nobata laughs. Even in high school, your charm is still going strong. Kotobuki adds, Yoi-chan, you couldn't reject her again, could you? Here's the thing about Takiguchi Yoi. Tall, slim figure, slightly deep voice, a masculine face inherited from her parents. She's a first-year high school student. She's a girl, but everyone calls her the prince. As they're walking through the hallways, Kotobuki reminisces. Remember sports day last year? A girl fell down and Yoi literally picked her up and carried her to the finish line, and still won first place. You looked so cool, Yoi. You're like a shoujo manga hero. Yoi gets lost in thought hearing this. Then she spots two girls waiting for her with a paper bag and water bottle. She immediately changes direction to avoid the hassle. She mutters to herself, people see me more as a hero or prince than a princess. Well, with this face, I guess it's inevitable. Suddenly, she stops. A guy jumps down from the second floor balcony and lands right in front of her. Yoi stumbles back in shock. He looks her up and down and casually asks, didn't see you there. You okay? But Yoi doesn't respond. She just stares at him, mouth hanging open, thinking, What kind of guy is this? The boy's eyes widen for a moment. Then he suddenly grabs her jaw, gets super close to her face, and says, you know, you're really beautiful. Then, as if something just occurred to him, he asks, are you a boy? Yoi is stunned. She yanks herself free, stands up straight, and says firmly, get out of my way, and she walks off. The guy watches her leave, clearly intrigued, though he still doesn't know she's actually a girl. Back in class, Yoi sits with her friends, totally bummed. She thinks, he just asked straight to my face if I'm a boy or not. How rude! That's when she hears the girls around her getting all excited and chattery. Nobata explains, that's the other prince. Rumor has it his dad is a multi-millionaire and he's already in charge of 2 or 3 companies. And the number of girls he's made cry? It's in the triple digits. Yoi skeptically says, that sounds like too much even for a rumor. Right at that moment, she spots him, the same guy from earlier, looking up at her from below. Their eyes meet, and they both say at the same time, that's the one from this morning. The guy asks bluntly, you okay? Naturally, Yoi does not appreciate this. Then a swarm of girls attacks her with questions. How do you know Ichimura-senpai? So that's his name, Ichimura, and he's the other prince. Ichimura's friends tell him that Yoi is super famous, and that even though she's a girl, everyone calls her prince. What? So this incredibly beautiful boy is actually a girl? Reassures the girls that there's nothing between her and Ichimura. They just bumped into each other. The girls are relieved. Good, if you two got together, we'd lose both our princes. How selfish are these girls? Quick question for you guys. Which prince do you want? Let me know in the comment. Anyway, Yoi feels down. She realizes the girls in her class don't even see her as a girl. She's about to pick up some chocolate when she hears a guy harassing the cashier. She steps forward and warns him to stop, but he doesn't listen. Instead, he grabs Yoi's collar and threatens her. He casually strolls in, recording everything on his phone, and comments in his cold, unbothered way. Wow, what a cliche dialogue. Drunk guy caught harassing a woman, now throwing a tantrum. I'm telling you, get lost. You're being really annoying. Yoi is stunned by his sudden appearance and attitude. She mutters, this guy seems more like a thug than a prince. Ichimura shoves the guy aside, walks up to Yoi and says casually, what a coincidence. We bumped into each other again. Must be fate, huh? Okay, I added that last line myself. He didn't actually say that. Ichimura starts making small talk with her, but behind them, the drunk guy sees his chance and swings a punch at Ichimura's back. Yoi steps in and blocks the attack like a true knight, declaring, attacking from behind is cowardice. Ichimura is stunned for a moment, maybe even impressed, but then he bursts out laughing. Things calm down when the manager shows up and scolds everyone, including Yoi and Ichimura. But then Ichimura suddenly grabs Yoi's hand and drags her to a quiet, empty park. They sit down together. Yoi is still trying to process everything that happened. Ichimura turns to her excitedly. That move you did was amazing. Like this. He imitates her block. Did you learn that somewhere? Yoi looks down and answers, a little karate. Ichimura is genuinely impressed. That's so cool. Man, now I get why those girls feel the way they do. He stretches and says casually, you really did look like a prince back there. Yoi looks away and says quietly, I'm not a prince because I want to be. I consider myself completely normal, but everywhere I go, all I hear is prince and hero. I'm always put up on some pedestal. Then she catches herself. Wait, why am I telling him all this? But Ichimura responds calmly. So what? If you're a prince, then you're a prince. Not every girl has to be quiet and delicate. Sometimes there should be a girl who's like a prince. Then he turns to her, rests his cheek on his hand, and smiles. By the way, what you did back there? It made my heart race. Like, a lot. Yoi nervously says, thank you. Ichimura grins. Man, you're amazing, Yoi-chan. You're really interesting. Yoi turns away slightly and thinks, he's calling me Chan? Wait, how does he even know my name? Chan is an affectionate suffix used for close friends or romantic interest. Ichimura asks, so you're this beautiful, and yet nobody's ever treated you like a princess? Yoi frowns. No, never. Ichimura is surprised. Huh. The guys around you must have really bad taste. Yoi's fingers grip the bench tightly as she thinks, he's calling me beautiful. Is this guy joking or is he actually serious? I can't tell. Her thoughts are interrupted when Ichimura stands in front of her and says, so should I carry you like a princess? Here, hold on and put your arms around my neck, like this. And he lifts her up in a princess carry. Yoi is completely shocked. What are you doing? Ichimura answers confidently, carrying you like a princess. That's not what I meant. Put me down. Your arms will break. He shrugs. No, they won't. That's not the point. Yoi is flustered beyond belief. Then Ichimura says softly, right now, you feel like a heroine, don't you? Yoi's eyes widen. Her heart is pounding. This is wrong, she thinks. Ichimura breaks her trance. Just kidding, but I gotta admit, that line was pretty cheesy. He notices her blushing face and just stares at her. But Yoi pushes him away, jumps down and stammers, I need to go home. And she runs away. As she runs, her thoughts race. This is wrong. I'm not the kind of girl who gets carried when she falls on sports day. I'm not the one who gives chocolates on Valentine's Day. Tall build, masculine face, deep voice. No one knows better than me that I'm not cut out to be a heroine. That's why I shouldn't get my hopes up. She slumps down on the ground, trying to convince herself. It's fine. It just feels weird because this has never happened to me before. But despite her words, her eyes fill with tears. Back at the park, Ichimura is still staring at the spot where Yoi was sitting. He murmurs to himself, what was that? That was really nice. Yoi returns to school, completely embarrassed about yesterday's events. And of course, her luck being what it is, Ichimura calls out to her. What happened yesterday? You suddenly left. Caught me off guard. Yoi replies, sorry, something urgent came up. Ichimura's friend leaves them alone. Yoi looks into his eyes and asks, are you really okay being seen talking to me? Everyone calls you a prince too. People might get the wrong idea. Ichimura shrugs carelessly. I don't care. Let them think whatever. He steps closer and says directly, Yoi-chan, I'm interested in you. Yoi takes a step back in shock. Is this a prank? Is someone recording this somewhere? Ichimura looks offended. No. Do I look like that kind of person? Yoi replies flatly. Yes. Ichimura sighs. If you don't understand what I'm interested in you means, then I don't know how to explain it. He scratches the back of his head, hesitating. It's a little different from love. Hard to put into words. Then it clicks for him. It's more like, I want to look at you all the time. Like when you see something so beautiful, you just can't take your eyes off it. Not even for a second. Yoi deadpans. That's exactly what a stalker would say. Ichimura fires back. Hey, stalkers don't tell their targets this stuff to their face. Then he smiles. So, for starters, want to have lunch together, Yoi-san? Yoi responds without any emotion. No. Having never had any real relationships with guys, Yoi sits at her desk, frustrated. What is with this guy? He calls me Yoi-chan so casually, says, I want to look at you all the time, like I'm some potted plant or something. I can't imagine anyone being interested in me. He probably talks to every girl like this. Her friends come over to ask if she wants to have lunch with them. But right then, the girls start making noise because Ichimura has walked into the classroom. He leans against the doorframe in his annoyingly attractive way and says, Yoi-chan, got some time right now? The whole class starts whispering. Yoi can't handle all the stares. She quickly makes up an excuse, grabs him, and drags him outside. But the rumor mill has already started spinning. They end up in an empty classroom in the old school building. Ichimura faces the window, and Yoi stands behind him. Ichimura says, "Your lies are as flawless as you are." Yoi looks around. "I don't know this place." He explains, "It's the old school building. I come here with my friends sometimes." She huffs, "That's not what I meant. Why do I have to eat lunch in a place like this?" Ichimura turns and smiles. "Because you don't want anyone to see you, right?" She sighs and sits down to open her lunch. Ichimura stays standing, so Yoi tells him to sit. He sits across from her and opens his bread. Yoi watches him and thinks, his face is so well proportioned. Is that why they call him a prince? She pours curry on her rice. Ichimura notices, and his eyes light up when she explains, "My family runs a curry restaurant." She quickly adds, "I don't want this to spread around. People will come up with weird nicknames." She hesitates, then says reluctantly, "Because I don't want to be called Curry Prince." Ichimura bursts out laughing. Yoi pouts. "See? I told you I don't like talking about it." Ichimura smiles. "Running a curry shop is pretty cute though." Yoi immediately says, "Please don't talk to me like that." Ichimura tilts his head. "No, I mean, the way you're so self-conscious about it is really cute." He adds with a gentle smile, "You're really cute, Yoi-chan." Yoi responds, "Can you stop teasing me about this? I never know what to say." But Ichimura just smiles. He reaches over, gently grabs her tie, gives it a light tug, and says, "Yeah, and that's what I like about you. I don't know why, but there's something about you, Yoi-chan, that keeps me curious every moment. I keep wondering, what expression will you make next? Show me. I want to see more." Yoi's heart beats fast. She thinks to herself, "This is the first time in my life a guy is hitting on me, and it's this guy of all people. I have absolutely no idea what to do." And that's where episode 1 ends. What do you guys think? Is Ichimura for real, or is he just playing around? Will Yoi ever get to be treated like a princess? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode.